how to deal with negative people. This is something that I've battled with for years. Um, when I say this, I really mean it. Everyone wants to have positive friendships, everyone wants to have friends that support each other. But unfortunately, that's not always going to be the case. A lot of that negativity actually comes from them realizing that you're improving yourself and sort of seeing themselves staying stuck in the same position. And then when that happens, right, they're going to resent you naturally, right? And they're going to be a little bit negative towards you. Now, this might be co-workers, this might be, friends, this might even be family, right? If it is family, it's tough, right? But the simplest solutions to this, there's really two solutions in my opinion. You either remove yourself or you basically tell them your intentions and you tell them where you want to go, you tell them what you're going to do. And then, in fact, I would probably do that one first, right? They're not going to understand you, likely, okay? If you want to change your life, which the men that are watching this channel want to improve their lives, just like I do as well, and I want to do this full time, become a YouTuber, get in good shape, get good with women, improve my mental health. The way you do this is you basically explain to them what you're doing. You explain to them what your goals and ambitions are, right? This is something I struggle with. I still struggle with, like I genuinely do. I don't have the balls to tell my family that I actually want to do this full time as a dream. And that's my fault, right? And I don't have the balls to look at those people. Because you have to think about this, right? They're gonna make fun of you anyways, whether you achieve your goals or you don't, right? Negative people, they're just negative and they're gonna affect you negatively regardless whether you achieve your goals or not, right? Which is why if you just look them in the eyes and tell them, hey, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to do, right? They might actually then respect you for it, okay? Chances are they won't. If they don't, right, then you do as best as you can to remove yourself from that environment, right? Whether they're friends, just stop hanging out with them, okay? Whether it's a bad relationship, just break up with her. It's easier said than done, I know, right? But you're better off being alone than being with people that are gonna pull you down. That's just the reality of it. It's a harsh truth and a harsh reality, but that is the reality of the situation. Right, if it is your family, okay, if you can't move out of home right now, the best thing you can do is look your parents dead in the eyes and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, this is my life now, right? Chances are that your parents, they're gonna love you and they're gonna respect you for it. Your parents should love you regardless, right? And if they don't, then I'm sorry. Then the best thing you can do is almost lie to your parents, right? If they want to stop you from going to the gym, if they want to stop you from working online, things like that, just tell them you're doing other things, right? But then go and do it anyways. Go and do the good habits anyways. If your family's really stopping you from doing good habits, then that is just sad. And that is a horrible position to be in, okay? And if they're encouraging bad habits, right, you can show them these videos, you can show them Hamza's videos hundreds of times, they're still not going to believe you. Like you can't change people's opinions that are, sort of ingrained in their brain. You just can't, right? And that's not your fault either, right? That's not your fault, right? That is simply just the way that they are, the way that they're going to stay, and they're not going to change, right? But what can happen is you can change. Now, if you have the funds or if you have the ability to actually move away from home, I would recommend doing that, right? I'd recommend you actually do that. And I'd recommend that you remove yourself from that environment, right? But if you don't have the money, whatever, you're still in school, potentially uni, things like that, you can basically use that to your advantage and tell them, no, I'm actually going to go do this, but then you go do this instead, right? You have the ability to, pretend like you're still going to a full-time job, right? But then you basically go there to a cafe and work on your laptop or things like that. Or you go to like a park and you just record the videos on your own. Now, I'm pretty lucky that I moved out of home when I was 18, so I've moved out of home for quite a few years now. but I didn't really commit myself fully into this self-improvement journey until really like a year ago. Even then, not even really. Like, I'm still very lazy with a lot of habits. I'd say realistically, like 6 months ago is when I decided that I'm going to actually commit myself full time to this, commit myself to YouTube, commit myself to the fitness journey. The fitness journey went really well, for the record. That's something that you just can't change in your family. And if that's the case, then lie to them, tell them you're working a full-time job, but then go work on your online business, right? Lie to them and tell them that you're just going to go hang out with a friend, but then go hit the sickest workout ever with your friend, right? That is the only way you're actually going to achieve these goals. You're the person that's going to achieve that. That's what you got to remember at the end of the day. So if you decide that this is really important to you, you have to find a way to actually make it work, right? And the only person that's going to do that is you. Now, I can give you solutions and I can give you advice, but at the end of the day, you're the one that actually has to take action on this and do it. So I hope that you really take this video seriously and you actually take action, just as I am, right? We're alongside this journey together, right? I'm going to make the same mistakes you are, but I'm hoping that my lessons are, mistakes that you avoid making in the future. So if you're on this journey, you picked an amazing path, and just continue with it and stay strong. Thanks for watching.